What's up guys, it's Sergey from Freediving, and today again we're going to talk about how to train your static breath hold. Last time we was talking about CO2 training, CO2 tables. If you haven't seen my previous video, you can find it, the link in the description below. And today we're going to talk about O2 tables. So if you remember, CO2 tables was about same breath hold, so the breath hold was the same, and then recovery time was smaller and smaller and smaller. And O2 table, you're going to have same recovery time. Your recovery time should be enough to completely recover from your previous breath hold, and then your breath hold is going to be bigger and bigger and bigger. Before guys we start to discussing this table, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're first time here. On a weekly basis I'm sharing some ideas about freediving, some information about freediving, or sometimes, not that often, but sometimes some cool video, some cool freediving video. Not that often, unfortunately. Okay, so O2 table, what is the idea again? You have a constant, you have always the same recovery time. Again, recovery time is enough to completely recover, and then your breath hold, let's say you can start from the 30 seconds, then it's going to be 40 seconds, 50, 1 minute, can end it up at 1 minute 30 seconds, or bigger or smaller, depends what your maximum breath hold. I personally don't really like to do O2 tables with the full lungs, because in my case it can take a little bit longer, so my overall session is going to be too long, and I don't really like to practice static that much, so I don't like to have a long static sessions. So what I do with the O2 tables, I do it with the empty lungs. So I do full exhale and then I hold my breath. So same, relaxation breathing, let's say for 2 minutes, then you do your final big breath in. Full exhale, completely all air out from your lungs, and then you hold your breath, let's say for 30 seconds in the beginning, then 40 seconds, and then you can increase by 10 seconds or by 5 seconds, again depends how you feel. So it's going to be slightly longer and longer and longer, and then after 6 or 7 you have like really long and quite uncomfortable breath hold. Okay? So don't forget, if you train any tables, if you train static CO2 or O2 tables or whatever else, if you train in the pool, don't forget you should have safety body. There is no excuse to train in a pool alone. No excuse. Please guys, never do it. So if you do, let's say O2 table, do it with a safety body. In my case, I do O2 tables with empty lungs, dry. I'm doing at home when I wake up. I like to do it in the early morning. Then I obviously do it alone. Still maybe good idea to have your body nearby. But again, if you do dry static, it's kind of okay to do it alone. So this is why if you don't have a body, don't use that excuse next time. Don't use it as excuse. Make sure that you still can do training. It's kind of really good, solid training with the empty lungs, even when you don't have a freediving body. Why do it with the empty lungs? First of all, again, it's much more time effective. Your overall training is going to be much smaller, because believe me, if you haven't tried it yet, when you're going to do it for the first time, it's not the easiest way to do empty lung static, especially like I said for the first few times. And also, it's if your main goal is to getting better in the water, when you're diving in the open water, when you do like snorkeling with some diving, or if you do training along the line, this training with the empty lungs a little bit more closer to this. It's kind of simulation of this, because when you do your dives, your lungs going to be compressed. It's not going to be like big lungs after your maximum exhale. Inhale is going to be smaller. So when you do empty lungs, it's kind of simulate the same idea. Alright guys, this is the O2 tables, my O2 tables with empty lungs. Again, you can do much longer, it can be 140, 150, 2 minutes. I found that 2 minutes is really hard. It's still doable, but really hard. So you can practice this at home when you don't have your safety body. And this is, like I said, really solid, nice way of training.